All right, we back in the Alchemist Lab with another book review, and I had this book for a long time, man. Has about 4, 5, 6 years, But this one's called "The Prophet and the Princess," and this what it looks like on the side. Where's the camera at? This looks like on the side, "The Prophet and the Princess" by Jacob S. Dorman. The Prophet and the Princess: The Secret History of Magic, Race, and Moorish Muslims in America. And just what the front look like. Let's see if this seat go down. Here we go. This is what the front look like right here. Of course, some of my books, man, traveling and shit, they get towed up and shit, man. But this what the front look like. Talks about a lot of good stuff in here. So the basic premise is the Prophet and the Princess. Basically talking about it's got many different stories in here. But matter of fact, let me read some of this what's got in here. Performer, prestidig, I can never say this word. Prestidigitator, peddler, preacher, prophet, politician, prisoner, and precursor of the Nation of Islam. These are many faces of the enigmatic noble Drew Ali. Jacob Dorman's death and riveting historical thriller demolishes everything we thought we knew about the man, his equally mysterious wife, and the movement he led. A journey through continents and circus tents, barbershops and back rooms, millennia of religious traditions, and an Aristote's Orient embodied in the flesh of black pretenders. The princes and the prophet, the princess and the prophet is the princess and the prophet is itself a prodigious feat of detective work and archival magic. The Prophet and the Princess is a must-read. Jacob S. Dorman weaves together. Well, this is just different reviews from the book from many different authors and stuff. Different authors from the 5% of Islam, hip hop, and the guys in New York and all that stuff. But yeah, basically this is talking about it gets into the real stuff. Is it upside down? Well, I got the cover on upside down. But it gets into the real stuff about Moorish history instead of what you see on the internet, YouTube, and all that type of stuff. Grifters. That's why I like Moorish World TV, because he talks about stuff like that and stuff like this. Modern day Moorish science Temple of America isn't. It's not the real thing. It's more so masonry. There's difference between masonry and this, and it talks about this in here too. But this is this is the dude that wrote the book right here. This is the dude that wrote the book. It's Jacob S. Dorman. He wrote what does he write? Dorman explains why some African Americans came to see Islam as a global anti-racist movement, unequivocally suited to black people in an era of lynching, segregation, imperialism, and race riots. The Prophet and Princess also reveals that cultures grow as much from imagination as inheritance, and that breaking down the artificial silos around various racial and religious cultures helps to understand not only America's hidden past, but also its polycultural present. But yep, that's basically the synopsis of this book. And yeah, and it's like I said, it's different. There's a difference between especially what's going on in the so-called conscious community today. It's more so boule curated, if you know what I mean. It's boule curated. See, this is the real John. This is the real John. This is the real. This was back when it was real. This is the real. See what I'm saying? He's got a lot of cool pictures in. Matter of fact, let's go to the pictures because the pictures is what makes this book. And this is one of the main characters in the book that he's talking about. So let's see. A photo of Walter Brister as Arma Sotanki, a Hindu magician used for the Pawnee Bill Wild West show and the John Robinson Circus 1900 to 1902. At the right distance from the page, one may be able to see a dark mole on the right side of his nose, below the corners of his right eye, halfway between the point of his tip of his nose. Yeah, that's one dude I was playing like one of the prophets or whatever. It's got this stuff, it's got all this old world stuff going on in here. Let's look back. They used to do all type of stuff like the acrobatics and stuff on the horses, off the horses and stuff, bands, horse races. Today's also fucking Harry Houdini and all that stuff. They got some more stuff in here. I think he talks about some of the fires in here. Shout out to what's his name, Conspiracy RS. I like him. He's cool. He good. He gives some good information. He talks about the fires and my lunch break. He talks about the same thing too. But yeah, it gets into a lot of good stuff in here. Let me see. One of the chapters in here talks about, let me see, Hindu magic. What is Hindu magic? Let me see. Oriental magic is in chapter 23. You got Muslim Masons, Imperial Inferno, Hindu magic, the Black Mecca, Moorish science, machine politics, Moorish fashion, Chicago justice. That's just some of the chapters in here. I got this book from a place where I used to work at. It was it's like this conscious restaurant, and they got like a bookstore in there. I saw this book and I got it too. I got two of the books out of that the same day. Let's see. Because see what he does in this book, he gets into a lot of historical stuff, and he breaks down a lot of different things other than what from what stuff that you would not hear. And he gets into Prophet Noble Drew Ali, according to all true and divine records of the human race, there is no Negro, Black, or colored race attached to the human family, because all of the inhabitants of Africa were, in all of the human race, descendants of the ancient Canaanite nation from the holy land of Canaan. And see, that's why, today, of course, it's just for the internet, and it's just as a grift, and it's just as today it pays to be a victim, and and you get clout for being a victim. So, they pulled, oh, black people, and then they'll bring up. It's like they'll use Noble Drew Ali, they'll use John Henry Clark, they'll use like modern day people like Bobby Hemmett, Brother Panic, and all that stuff for their image. But they won't. But they don't have, like they say in the Pimpin' Man. It's on them, but it's not in them. It's on them as far as like it's swag appeal. You see what I'm saying? You see what you get what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Because when you actually do scholarship and read for yourself on different stuff, you will learn a lot. You see what I'm saying? And there's a lot of stuff in here that these basically some of these losers in the black so-called conscious community, they let's say the Boule curated so-called conscious community will don't know about, or either it's like they won't agree with it, because the reason why they won't agree, there's a difference between agreeing and then knowing something is true, and it breaks down different lies and shit. You see what I'm saying? Because back in the days, Noble Drew Ali and them, they wasn't selling you fake Ormus. They wasn't selling you fake. They wasn't grifting, bruh. They wasn't doing things. They was doing. They was real about this. They wasn't, you see what I'm saying? They wasn't deceiving the people. They wasn't deceiving the people. Let me see. Um, there's one chapter I want to read out of here. Not a whole fucking chapter, but let's see. Um, Damn, I gotta drink like 3 bottles of water after that shit. That's cool. Well, not bottles. I don't drink bottled water. I drink that spring jump. After that shit, I just don't want no. I just don't want that coffee that's fucking in here. That shit not good. I just drink that shit. But let me see. Show the pictures. Because there's so much information in this book. You don't even know where to start. But my favorite chapter in here is on the Oriental magic and the Hindu magic. But he spelled Hindu Hindoo. So it's different from Hindu Hindu. But Oriental magic's on page 23. Oriental magic. So Oriental magic, human beings are magical. Bios and logos, life and word. Words made flesh. Muscle and bone animated by hope and desire, belief materialized in deeds. Deeds which crystallize our actualities. And that's Sylvia Winter, 1995. In the year 610 of the Common Era, CE, a 40-year-old merchant from the Arabian city of Mecca withdrew to a cave for a period of solitary prayer and meditation. There he received a revelation from the angel Gabriel that came to him with such force that he first thought he was being attacked by a genie. Now, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, began preaching his revelations teachings that form the basis of the religion of Islam to its holy text, the Quran. Islamic histories teach that the Prophet fled with his followers from Mecca to Yathrib, later known as Medina, in 622. Then, after a period of warfare against the Meccans, returned victoriously 8 years later with 10,000 followers. Goddamn. The faith of Islam that Muhammad founded accepted the validity, if not the divinity, of earlier prophets like Moses, Jesus, and rested on the 5 pillars of Shahada, the profession that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Salat, the regular observance of the five daily pillars. Zakah, the regular giving of alms, and the needy sawam, primarily ritual fasting during the month of Ramadan, but also fasting for repentance of the ascetic purposes of the performance of Hajj or pilgrimage to Mecca at least once in a lifetime. We're just talking about the basics of the Islam, Muslim religion. But it's really like, when you look at it, there are no like Abrahamic religions. When you think about it, there are no Abraham. It's basically all Hebrew tradition. That's basically all it is. Because like all this later day stuff, Christian, Judaism, Islam, that shit was made by humans. But when you look at the true patriarch of the fucking thing, is Abraham, dude. Father of many nations. I think it was in the Old Testament. I think it was the queen, the Midianite queen. She had a crescent and a star as her fucking symbol. But they were the Midianites. But they didn't call it Islam. They didn't call it, it was just a Hebrew tradition. It was just tradition. You know what I'm saying? From the old land, from the old world. From not old world, or the old land. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it is. Like, fuck. But Satan's little season. What does Satan do? Divide and conquer. See what I'm saying? So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's in here. Um, let me see if I can get back into this, some of the stuff that's in the magic junk. Let me see. Okay, unlike Christianity, Islam is not thought of magic and astrology as antithetical to religion, but as an integral part of unified field of both worldly and supernaturally directed activity, including faith, prayer, almsgiving, study of Holy Scripture, and the other tenets and practices we customarily recognize as religious, you know. But you know, and this is where people that's unlearned, especially, oh my god, motherfuckers really think they know that fucking Bible, and then till on so many levels, and until they end looking stupid. This is one thing I fucking hate when a motherfucker says in the book the Bible says everything is witchcraft. No, no, it doesn't. See, people don't read. People don't read. The Bible is basically a fucking, like, just read it. It's a novel. It's basically like a mythological novel. You know how you read Viking stories, and then, like, you can see the dude like slaying the whatever, the whites or the fucking giants and shit. It's the same thing here. So it wasn't saying that, astronomy and astrology is bad and all this type of stuff. It was a certain type of see, fuck, how do I explain this? Okay, this is the best way to explain this. There were fallen beings, there were evil monsters on the fucking earth. They were big as shit. They said it was fucking legit. We was like grasshoppers unto them. They was eating babies, eating children, eating fucking humans. So I would think that, you know, I wouldn't want to summon some shit like that or go to a soothsayer that's got like some, I don't know, what that shit looked like back in them days. You know what I'm saying? World's a different place. So it's just like people don't read, people don't put things together, use context clues. You see me? You see what I'm saying? Motherfuckers just see it and just be like, oh, it says that, it is this, and then. Like, that's not what that is saying. You see what I'm saying? Because later on, they was doing all type of fucking magic and shit. And how do you think they defeated the fucking Nephilim giants? They said it was taller grass. I'm pretty sure they had some motherfuckers shooting some fireballs or some shit out of a staff or something, fucking something. Like, what you gonna do? Like, Dragon's Dogma, ankle bonk the fucking giant. It's not. That's not gonna work. It's not. You see you get what I'm saying here. You get what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? It even and see, this is what it get. I don't want to dwell on this joint for too long, but it's kind of important. That's why scholarship is important. You get these fake New Agers, fake spiritual, fake starseed weirdos. They get to talk about chakras and stuff, but they don't have no clue about the Hindu Vedas. You see what I'm saying? They don't know the Hindu scriptures or nothing like that. You see, and then they'll go and bonk on Christianity and Islam and this and all the Abrahamic religions, but you just said chakras when basically, you see what I'm saying? Pull it, like, culture vulturing from this fucking religion, you see what I'm saying, over here, because the true religion is religious. Real religion means realign with the divine. So they're going to take the chakras from this spiritual system and all this other stuff, and you don't know what it says in the Vedas and the Hindu scriptures and nothing like that when it says the same fucking thing. There was a point in time there's some scriptures in the Hindu Vedas where it says don't do astrology, this is da when it comes to certain things. And plus, if the Council of Nicaea said, you know what, we're not gonna take the Hebrew mythology for our political gain. We're gonna take the Hindu mythology. Y'all motherfuckers be saying Lord Krishna, Lord Krishna. You'll be don't no seriously. But that's the whole thing, with that. And I like how he breaks that what I was just talking about down in here. You know what I'm saying? It's not like some, you know, and I hate that too. You know what I'm saying? Just like old girl was talking is talking about fucking the Hebrew God. It's actually a mother goddess only. Like it's only a mother goddess. It's only, you see what I'm saying? Like, once again, he's already in Yoruba doing that male hating crap. The goddess kicked you out of Yoruba. Don't come over here doing that because you know you see what I'm saying? You know, and um and that's one of the reasons why I want to show, and I'm doing different book reviews on different books I got, because just like Bobby Hemmett said, man, and see, motherfuckers, see, once again, using a name and image for fame and shit, but you ain't listening what the fuck they said. Scholarship is very important. The modern day person that pretends to be on the spiritual path cannot read this book. You want to know why they can't read this book? Because it's boring. It's not. It doesn't. It's not like, you know, if you're a female, you know, and you're on that whole wave of different things. Boring. It's boring. You know, you the witchy bay, witchy bay, witchy bay. You just want to look at tarot card readings and, you know, have a dumb bitch like reinforce the lies in your fucking head about some fucking man and what's coming towards you and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? If you one of these dumbass motherfucking niggas out here, man, you just want to, you're going off of a fucking, cocksuck ass Kendrick Lamar and fucking faggot ass Jay-Z and the rest of these fucking celebrities, just, you sucking them up. You don't, they don't really truly study. You see what I'm saying? They don't really fucking truly study, don't read, you're dumb. You see what I'm saying? This AI stuff, what's going on in the world stage, man. But I'm so glad I can be one of the only ones that show y'all scholarship, and actually, because I'm gonna do some readings out of this book and other books, and that's why it's important. You see what I'm saying? Scholarship is important. It's still the book review. It's still the book review, because me reading this book helped me realize really truly how why scholarship is important. And instead of like going off of, and not just because it's in the book, but I can read the book and then do my own basic research off of other different things. Or if I've already done research like in here, like, see, this is how you study. Like in here it talks about different stuff, as in, it's supposed to talk about Islam and all this type of stuff, you know and it talks about the Bible and shit like that. I have a background in that. I know the Kabbalah very well. I know the Kabbalah with a K, Q, and a C. You see what I'm saying? I'm quite advanced at that. And when I read this, I'm like, okay, I can put things together from what that I already know. If I see something new, I look it up. Even if I see a fucking word that I've never seen before, I look up the definition of the word. And all that is kind of like going away. People not really studying, people not really learning. It's just this stupid internet YouTube thing. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I've been beginning to do book reviews. And this book, he really gets into a lot of scholarship. Basically, this is a, what I can call this book is it's a scholarship book. You see what I'm saying? It's a real good scholarship book. And when it comes, especially when it comes to the old world, you know, um, and what really went on in the 1900s and all this type of stuff in Memphis and Chicago and all these other different places. You know what I'm saying? What was it really about? What is because there's different. It wasn't just black Moorish people. It was many different colors of Moors. You see what I'm saying? You had your Asiatic Moors. You had even your fair skinned Moors. They called the Berbers. And it was just like different tribes of different people. But they don't. But see, back in the days, they didn't see race how we see it today. The race how we see it today is a program, a mental program. It is totally fake. And it's fake. That back in the days, they didn't see race like that, especially like in the 1500s or 1600s. See what I'm saying? When the Moors really doing that fucking thing, it wasn't just no. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So, you really gotta, and then today, um, you know, You got, which is what amazes me. I like swords. I know swords from all over the world. I know HEMA swords, historical European martial arts swords. I know Arabic swords. I love swords. Swords, man. So I love swords so much. You got people who are so-called in this, and they don't know what a scimitar looks like. I saw Moorish World TV talk about that joint. He pulled out two swords. He was like, "This is a scimitar, and then this is something else." I think it was like a rapier. It might have been an armored sword or something. Might have been a rapier though, because I couldn't really see it. But it looked, but with the hilt and everything, it looked like a rapier. It might have been a short, not a short sword, an armored sword. But he was like, "Yo, if you went to a so-called Moorish temple, you got, this is different. You're basically in masonry. That's not Moorish science temple. You know what I'm saying? That's not the real jump. You see what I'm saying? Um, but me myself, I don't really call myself anything. And me being outside of that whole thing, and me being a researcher, me seeing like what's going on, it's like, damn, man, that's fucked up, bro. It's not cool, man. So you like Ormus, like, yes, monatomic gold is real. It is real. But do you know the process it takes to make that shit? There's only a couple few real monatomic gold companies that are actually making that shit. Your favorite influencer, like that's your conscience, is there, that's nothing but salt water. It's not monatomic gold. And then I heard one of them say, "Yeah, monatomic gold has all these atomic particles." Monatomic gold. Mono means one, which means it has one atomic particle. That's why it's called monatomic gold. But he's trying to say it has all these particles in it, all these atomic particles. When it's monatomic, it has one. It's just like, once again, study for yourself and show yourself approved, you know, for real, man. I haven't gotten through this whole book yet, like every single page. But what I can say is that me read, I read every chapter though, because I found a lot of everything in this book very interesting, and I would like how I read this book. I would read, then I go study. I would read, then I would look, and just meditate on what I just read, especially on the parts where it talks about Oriental magic, Hindu magic, because there's this guy named Shadrach Nineveh. He's real good in Arabic magic, the genies and jinns and stuff. Um, I got a couple of his books as well. I think he has a book on like the flower of life. And yeah, man. And the Kabbalah tree of life, you know. But this is a good like compilation book of about just about this whole Moorish thing and where it started and where it came from. He goes way back. He goes back to the 1800s, 1900s, organic mosaics. He goes way back, and see, and this is what I was saying. I just turned to the page. He talks about Kabbalah in here. So let me see. What is this? Oh, this is This is going back on Oriental magic. So Oriental magic. Matter of fact, let's go here. This was far from the first time the Hermetica had been debated, um, and discussed. Augustine had argued against them in the city of God, even by translating the text into Latin and eventually various common tongues. Renaissance scholars transformed the Hermetic text into a powerful influence on European thought. Hermeticism soon influenced explorations of alchemy, astrology, mysticism, occultism, and magical spells. Perhaps even more significantly, alchemical experimentation produced early scientific breakthroughs, and such titans of scientific empiricism and the Enlightenment, such as Sir Isaac Newton, Robert Boyle, and John Locke, embraced various combinations of magic, mysticism, and alchemy. There's a picture that I saw, and I've seen it before, but I was going to use it for like my this game that I'm working on for like the spell book. But there's this picture. I'm gonna show y'all real quick. There's this picture, and I kind of want to say this is where Harry Potter came from. This is where Hogwarts and all this shit came from. I don't think she was sitting on a train, like, and it just fucking came to her. Hold up, where is this thing? Go to my uploads. There we go. It is all the way down. Hold on, you guys. Let me get it. Let me get it. Let me get it. Let me get it. Okay, skip those assholes. Okay, here we go. This picture right here. It's got like the spirits of the four corners. You know, Raphael, Michael, Gabriel, Oriel. Then you got their counterparts, Belial, Asmodeus, da 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 da, whatever. But I saw this symbol and I'm like, oh, this is Hogwarts. You know, you got Slytherin, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and the Gryffindor. You see, but you see how they look kind of Moorish on the thing. You know, I forgot what book this is from. The Black School of Medicine, Clavis Inferni, or the key to hell. But it's not really fucking hell like you know what you're thinking of. Like, oh, let's go to fucking hell. The key to hell. We're in hell right now. Malkuth is hell. The land of the living and the land of the dead is one. We're living on dead creatures, basically. Earth is just one big dead, undying, undead, living but alive creature. There you go. For me, learning mud fossils, like the Earth is just one big death ball of fucking creatures. That's it. It's just one big death ball of fucking creatures, whatever the fuck they are. All right, so, but yeah, that's this picture right here. Um, and it kind of gets in what he was talking about here because this picture and the rest of the stuff that's in this book, like the pictures, like let me go back to it. Pictures like this. Oh my god, get those ugly bitches off my screen. But this, you know, these different Renaissance pictures, stuff like this. It was done in these different schools in Spain and different stuff like that. But Jewish mysticism and magic, which itself had been influenced by Hermeticism in the first centuries of the Christian era, also had a major and lasting impact on wider esotericism, influenced by their neighbors as well as by an intense desire to hasten the coming of the Messiah in light of persistent persecution. Jews of the Middle Ages and later centuries developed their own intricate form of mysticism called Kabbalah, which became a key element of both Jewish and non-Jewish forms of effective magic. While devotees usually studied Kabbalah for mystical enlightenment, it also was believed to have the magical ability to affect change in the world. Or that's the Tikkun Olam. See, that's what I'm saying. This is how you study. See how it's talking about that in there? Or heal the world. You see what it's talking about? How it's talking about that in there? Now I already got a book called about this, about Kabbalah with a Q. We talking about Kabbalah with a K, and I'm already know, what I'm saying, I already know some stuff, but it's like those of you who are real true scholars and you're not just a douchebag on the internet, like you get what I'm saying. You totally understand what I'm saying. While devotees usually studied Kabbalah for mystical enlightenment, it also was believed to have the magical ability to affect changes in the world. And those who knew the names and numbers of Kabbalah's 72 angels. What were we talking about? We were just talking about the 72 angels. I had a book called The 72 Angels of Magic. Oh my God, it got lost in the woods. Fuck. It got lost in the woods. But I'm gonna get another one. It was by Damon Brand. I love that book. But a contemporary of Ficino's named Giovanni Piccodella. I'm gonna say it like an Italian. Giovanni Piccodella Mirandola, 1463 for 1494, was largely responsible for introducing Jewish mysticism into Renaissance occultism, where it flourished. A young nobleman who began to study canon law at 10, Pico met Ficino in Florence and studied Hebrew, Arabic, and Kabbalah with several Jewish scholars. and Christian synthesis of the two he called Kabbalah with a C. I told y'all, Kabbalah with a C, Q, and a K. He claimed that Ficino's natural magic was weak without the tradition of Kabbalah with a C, as it did not aspire beyond the realm of the earth and stars, whereas Kabbalah invokes supernatural beings, still Kabbalah with a C, supernatural beings and the divine power of the supreme God, Elohim, plural, male and female, not just fucking female. Don't let these Jezebel harlot spirit teach y'all wrong, and we can go over that today too. I'm not looking at my mic. We can go over that today too. You know what I'm saying? We can go over that today because we ain't playing with this junk. We can move that shit out the way. We ain't playing because it's a lot of false information motherfuckers just putting out. You know what I'm saying? Around this time, bro, and it's just getting real stupid. It's real stupid. Real stupid. Adding shit, taking away shit, putting in whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? Based off of how they feel and they ego about whatever. Like, shit crazy, dude. But in no spiritual system, no, whether it's Hinduism, Hebrew, what I mean is the Christian, Islam, and I don't even want to say Judaism, because really just Judaism is just fucking Hebrew. Is what the fuck Abraham was doing and all that shit. But when we see all that shit, no religion, Shintoism, Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism, I don't change a damn fucking thing. You see what I'm saying? There's a reason why I don't change anything. Because for one, it's disrespectful to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's very disrespectful to do that. You know, just like I'm saying, like, oh girl, not in Yoruba no more. Because she wasn't respecting those holy words. You know what I'm saying? What she's supposed to be upholding. Now she can't practice African spirituality. Now she's trying to come over to like this fake back to Jesus, but I really don't want to be back to Jesus, you know. But I'm also still this male hating woman who's like twisting shit so I could fucking, like, it's fucking weird. It's fucking weird. Like I said, it's a lot of different spirits going around right now that really don't want motherfuckers to learn this shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially how I learned this shit, because I learned this shit. I do this shit. I live this shit. I breathe this. You see what I'm saying? You know, I even go the extra mile to even fucking read. Who reads these days? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, but yeah, that's pretty much it. What I want to talk about about this book. I give this book on alchemical scale. I give this book a gold. The reason why I give this book a gold is because it's just so much in here that like you know, with me, somebody like me, who likes to read and like scholarship, I can just turn to a random page and start reading, and there's something, you know, interesting or something that I've never heard of before, and I'll just start doing research on, you know. But yeah, you can connect the dots with a lot of different stuff, especially with this old world stuff, you know. When people talk about Tartaria, you know, the real shit, and you know, all this other stuff. Not the real shit. Not Native Americans. not black Native Americans standing. Not AI videos of black Native Americans standing up under fucking Roman architecture in America. Not that shit, dude. You know, the real shit, man. You know. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you got some out of this, and hopefully you guys do get this book. This is a good book. And hopefully you take better care of your books than I do, you know. But that's how you can tell I use these. I read them. But I do have like when it comes to stuff like this, I have a collector's book. Then I have a book where it's just like, you know, it is gonna get messed up because from travel and stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully you guys got something out of this, and see you in space.